Okay, so this video is going to be a lot quicker than the previous one. We just went over the data settings, which is by far the most amount of work you need for setting up the GSA projects. So let's take a quick look at the options. I don't have this one checked, but if you're using private proxies or a VPS or something like that, you might want to have this checked, and then you can build so many links per day. That's not the way I go about it, because I actually use a VPN and I have to change IP addresses manually, which is a lot more of a hassle than actually using private proxies. So I actually recommend using private proxies. They're essential. In fact, you can't use GSA without proxies. You'll get into trouble with your ISP provider. So moving on to the next section. Choose this one, have it selected, and choose random. So this means that if there's a category it doesn't recognize, it will automatically choose a random category, which is a lot better than having pop-ups coming up on your screen. Each time it needs to choose something, you just choose random and it'll do everything automatically. Skip hard to solve captures. I choose this. This just makes things quicker. Some captures are almost impossible to solve, and they just slow down GSA processing power and other stuff, so I tend to choose that option. I don't enable a custom mode. There's just too much to do for this particular process of backlink in Squidoo. Verified links must have exact URL. I choose this one to make sure that I get the exact URL my link is on. Send verified links to indexer services. Now I do have GSA SEO indexer and I do send my links there, but I don't actually have this checked when I'm submitting links, because it just uses up more computer power, slows the computer down too much, actually slows GSA search engine ranking down because this does its thing at the same time. So I prefer to actually import the links later after they've made them. I don't choose this. I already have character spinning on the segments we use. This will just mean GSA has to use more processing power, which takes up, makes things more slow, so I don't use that. Simgin, I think again here, I don't bother with spell errors. Again, it takes up more processing power. I don't bother with this one. And I don't try to post to another site after it has failed the first time. I just don't bother with that. I don't always use keywords to find target sites. This means if you're scraping your own keyword list, then you're going to need to use that. I don't bother with it, I just leave it as is. This section is if you have your own list already of sites. If you've been using GSA for a while, it goes out, scrapes, finds places to submit links. When it does that, it actually saves them. So when it identifies a site, it actually goes into this folder. Once it's submitted a link, it saves the site in this folder called submitted. And when it checks the link and it's actually verified, you will also have a folder with a list of verified sites. So if you just want to go ahead and use those right away and not actually go scraping for keywords, click this one and it will use those lists that you've already created. This is also useful if you have imported a list of URLs. So that you already have this set up when you get going. You'll want to choose that option again. So that's what that one is for. I don't bother with analyzing and posting to competitor backlinks. We've got plenty of keywords to scrape and use, or if we have our own lists here, then we got plenty to do, and I just find this again a waste of processing power and time. People have their personal preferences here. I don't like to put links on sites with more than 100 outgoing links. This will reduce the amount of links you get, but I've had no issues. I don't bother when backlinking for Squidoo or other WebTool properties to actually check this and have a PR check on it. If you're doing some other kind of process, then this may be relevant, but I have no problems with it. I don't try and skip creating nofollow links because you know, you want to keep your backlink profile natural, so nofollow links will be part of that. I do avoid posting two URLs on the same domain twice. I don't bother with making sure that my keyword has to be present on the site. This will seriously reduce the amount of submissions you can make. This is not checked here, but I do post URL to places where it's clearly seen as spam, such as forum posts. So, you know, there if you paste a URL rather than a keyword, then it's more likely that the link is going to stick. Then we have a list of words here that make sure to make sure your links don't go on any pornographic sites or any gambling sites, which could possibly hurt your rankings. So I check that, but I do take off some, like, you know, that could be innocent enough, so I deselect that one. There's a few more. I deselect these two because if you are cooking, you know, links or something like that, then you may have chicken breasts or turkey breasts that you you know, on the site that you want to get your link from. This could be harmless enough, as could this. These are obviously words we do want to make sure we are avoiding. And let's see, you know, if you are promoting toothbrushes, for example, you don't want to get that filtered out. For some reason this word is twice in the list, and I think that covers everything, and I remove pills also. For this one, you actually have to import your own list. I actually have a list that I have adapted to fit perfectly here. I also choose Squidoo to make sure you don't actually post blog comments to a Squidoo lens anywhere, which might upset some other Squidoo lens masters. But I'll have this available that you can download and submit to, or you can just import here. I don't bother with this. Skipping posting to certain countries. And yeah, that covers it for options. We'll just quickly go to email verifications. This is simple enough. You import your email. I think two of the best ones are Hotmail. You can buy like 50 Hotmail accounts on Fiverr for $5. I also use gmx.com. You will need to use proxies or a VPN to change your IP address after creating every couple of these to make new ones. But yeah, I recommend either GMX or Hotmail. And then you just put your info in here for your POP3 server. For GMX, it's pop.gmx.com. I use SSL 995. The settings may be a little different for Hotmail. Put your login and your password here. And I only use one email per account, and I check this box in that case, which means that once the software has gone into your email and done what it needs to do, it deletes the emails and all emails that's not relevant to that. This helps because your inbox can get bloated with crap, and that slows down the ability of GSA to actually sort through, parse all the emails and get to the links it needs to. So that's why I choose one email per project, and I use this setting. It keeps things running faster. Let's see. Okay, that covers it. No, one more thing. Make sure whether you use GMX or whether you use Hotmail, to disable the spam filter, because some of the links in the emails that you need to click are going to end up in the spam folder, which means you're going to get less submissions. So it's important to actually disable the spam filter in your email client. Okay, that's it for this video, and we'll move on to the next, which is global settings.